A disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where LIFTT comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. LIFTT. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at LIFTT have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to LIFTT. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with LIFTT was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up. And then it became the logo, and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community. Hello, and welcome to Living Well in Montana. Living Well in Montana is a program provided to you by Living Independently for Today and Tomorrow, or LIFTT. LIFTT is the Center for Independent Living here, one of 4 in the state, who provide resources for independent living to the aging and disabled population here in Montana. My name is Tanya Thomas. I'm the Peer Program Coordinator here at LIFTT, and I'll be your host for today. Today in the studio we have Anya Pulis, who is another LIFTT team member. Welcome, Anya.
Thank you.
And our special guest for today is Georgia Cady. Georgia is the Executive Director of Tumbleweed. Welcome, Georgia.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. So I think I am super excited today because I don't know a lot about Tumbleweed. I've heard great things, and I'm really excited to learn about this. Firstly, I think maybe we'll go over the basic things just in case anybody has emergent need. Where are you guys located? Operation hours, those sort of things. Are you an overnight facility?
So we're located at 505 North 24th Street, so it's right downtown. Sometimes people get confused and go to 24th Street. We are not an overnight facility presently. Our hours of operation are Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 5, and then on Fridays we're open from 7:30 to 2:30.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Now, if the community wants to donate or help out Tumbleweed, is there a particular way they can donate, or how can they help Tumbleweed?
You know, Tumbleweed really relies heavily on community donations. It allows us to do the work we do, serving youth and young adults in our community. So you can stop by during our hours of operation. You can give us a call. We make every effort to come and collect donations. We take everything from monetary donations, clothing donations, food donations. We have a large food pantry that's utilized pretty heavily. We take furniture donations, because we do, as I tell you about some of our programs, we do have some scattered site apartments that our young people live in. So there's almost not any donation that somebody has that we couldn't put to good use.
I love that. So tell us about the kinds of services and programs that Tumbleweed does provide.
Now, Tumbleweed was founded in 1976 right here in Billings, which I think a lot of people don't know. So it's a long time nonprofit here. Mm-hmm. We have 5 individualized programs that serve youth, young adults and their families all the way up to the age of 25. A lot of people think of youth as under the age of 18, but as all of us know, just because the world says at 18 you're an adult, you really aren't an adult. Mm-hmm. You still need some extra supports. We have a crisis advocate at Skyview High School, and then we have one at West High School. They support the counseling centers in those high schools. They will deal with anything from, my boyfriend broke up with me, I don't have the right shoes, I don't have an activity fee, my family's being evicted, we don't have enough food, my family kicked me out. Kind of runs the gamut. Mm-hmm. So it's different every day. We do lots of family mediations through the schools. Sometimes, you know, teenage years are hard. Mm-hmm. And so we can sit down with families and kind of help them hash out their problems that are maybe causing tension in the home. We have the Chafee Foster Care Independence Program, which works with foster youth that are connected to the foster care system, and it helps them build an age out plan. So from the age of 14, and then it serves them all the way up to age 21, so we can follow them after their 18th birthday. In that program, it helps with employment, anything employment related, education related, school related, really kind of the gamut of how we can help normalize the foster care experience for you. Mm-hmm. We provides a life skill once a week where they can gather as a community, and they do fun things like making soap or building terrariums, and then they do some boring things like banking and balancing your checkbook. 40 to 50% of foster youth age out to homelessness, so it's really there to help them age out to something. That program also comes with a supervised independent living program. Mm-hmm. So there are foster youth that are 16 to 18 that they're not meant to live in a group home. They're not residential treatment material, but they're just not connecting to a foster family. So we put them in their own apartment. They must be attending school. If they have already graduated, they have to do 32 productive hours of work. And then we do their life skills right in their apartment. We check on them 3 days a week or more as needed, provide intensive case management, and really just start building those adulting skills right in their own apartment. That has been a very successful program for those kids.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a really fun program. We have about 200 youth that are part of our Chafee program.
Wow.
We have a youth housing demonstration project. You know, our vision is to end youth homelessness, so we got to figure out how to find homes, right? So this program connects young people with apartments, with funding streams. We really walk hand in hand with those folks to find them places to live. It's really hard to rent a place without a rental history, without a work history, so we have some wonderful partner rental agencies here in town that have agreed to partner alongside of us. And once those youth have stayed in our program and in our housing program, which, you know, comes with all these rules and regulations, but we're trying to teach them how to be good renters, they've agreed to then take them on as having a rental history. So that's really a win-win program. Not all of the young people that work with our housing program go into one of our particular apartments, but we do connect them with funding streams and help them search for apartments, whatever that looks like for them. We have an anti-trafficking program that works with human trafficking victims here in our area. We work very closely with the FBI and law enforcement, Department of Justice, to work on those programs. And then we have my favorite space, which is our drop-in resource center. So it is a space where literally homeless youth and young adults, like I said, we serve up to age 25, come to get, first of all, their basic needs, food, clothing, some respite. We also have a laundry facility. They can take a shower. We offer life skills. We have computers they can use. We have charging stations. And we have it really youth-centric. So anybody that would like to come down and have a look, we got pool tables and foosball tables and library books, just a space for them to feel community, to feel at home. Our drop-in center is unique not just to Billings, not just to Montana, but to the United States, in that we are low barrier. Most youth shelters are not low barrier, so folks can come in drunk or high, as long as they're not a danger to themselves or someone else. And we just meet them right where they are. We model under a positive youth development, trauma-informed care model. So some of our youth that are coming are really ready to get a job. Other youth that are coming just need to rest because they've been out on the streets wandering all night. We have some that have gone on to college. It just kind of runs the gamut, but whatever your need, you can come in. We have a clothing garage, we have a food pantry, and they receive intensive case management at whatever level they want when they come in. Some days they might really want to be working on some things. Other days, I'm just tired and need to rest. We do ask that they have some goals. We want to be a burning platform, not a space where you become stagnant. And we just walk right beside them and move them forward. We average about 60 youth and young adults back there a day. They cook their own breakfast, and then we, and when I say we, I mean the community, because we don't have a kitchen at this point, provides a hot lunch. And so community members, civic groups, we have a sign-up calendar. They can call in and say, hey, I'd like to provide lunch. They come in and they bring us the hot lunch. They usually have it there by 10, and then we reheat it, and our kids get to eat. I call them kids. Youth and young adults get to have a wonderful hot meal served by our community. Our food pantry is totally stocked by the community, and I don't think anybody should be hungry. And so they can come and get what they need, whether it's to throw in their backpack because they're living on the street, in the bushes, you know, in our parks, or they maybe have an apartment, but there's just not enough, there's too much month at the end of the money, and so they come and get their food, or they have a safe space to be, but that family might be marginal themselves, and so we allow them to come and take food as their way of giving back to that family. The other unique thing about Tumbleweed is we all of our services are free of charge. They're the only program that has restrictions is really the Chafee program, in that you have to be attached to the foster care system. Otherwise, we don't require you to come to so many meetings. We don't require you to do any of those things. You can enter and leave Tumbleweed as you need us. We're that space where you can lean and we will prop you up. Maybe you just need it for a little bit. And then you're off, and then that fails, and then you come back. And then we just welcome you back in, non-judgmental. Let's try this again. Let's move on to something different.
I love that. I love it. I love that not only do you offer them a resource, you offer them education too, and allow them the ability to make those decisions that can, change things and help them progress and get further. And I just love it. I think it's a great program. It sounds great. How is Tumbleweed funded?
So Tumbleweed is mostly funded. We're probably about 1/3 grant funded, and so we have the Chafee program is a state funded grant, so it's totally funded through the state. The youth housing program funds 1 3/4 positions, so it just pays their wages. The rest is all private foundations, community members. That's why I say Billings is just really wraps their arms around our young people and around Tumbleweed, and so they're the ones that are providing our mission. We at Tumbleweed just get to be the folks that get to see it happen, but it's all the people in our community that are providing the safety, assistance, and hope to our vulnerable.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is. So now I know that recently, and Georgia did say in the past, LIFTT has partnered with Tumbleweed. Can you tell us about how that partnership is now, Georgia?
Absolutely. So one thing at Tumbleweed is we're big advocates of bringing in anybody that can do anything to help that young person. So we invite all organizations and agencies to come in. We want them to have so many resources that they can pick and choose what's best for them. So LIFTT comes in at a minimum every other week. As you know, young people are very sporadic, and then homeless young people, they can't necessarily make a meeting because they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so they can't really make a meeting for next week. So LIFTT folks just come in, hang out. They may have an appointment with someone. That person may show up, but if not, they just hang out in our drop-in center, and there's always folks back there that they can help and partner with. Most of our young people certainly have mental health disabilities. We do have those that have physical disabilities, but if they don't have them now, they might have them later. And I don't think that you can give people enough idea of what resources are, so that if they're out in the community and they hear LIFTT, because you've been there, they know what that means, or they might have a friend or a grandparent or somebody that they may be able to reach out to help with those services. So it's really nice that you come in, and it's just nice for our young people to have different people in our building. Whether you're providing them a service or not, you are providing them a service by being another advocate, another face that they know is there to support them.
Somebody that can support them through their life's issues. And I think something that's really, I'm glad you brought that up, is the mental health disabilities and just mental issues, because especially among our youth, I think we've seen a rise in that in the recent years. And so I think that's a really cool thing about how LIFTT has really hopped in and tried to get more into youth transitional services. So I'm glad we've been able to hop in on Tumbleweed. So I think with the youth transition services, we've been able to up our pre-ETS program, helping students get pre-employment training, kind of have that discussion along with case managers to have that conversation of, okay, how do you build a resume? How do you get these interview skills and stuff like that? So I feel like that's a needed service in the community that can be fulfilled through like your program and our program. And that's why it's a good partnership. I love it. Hopefully that those youth can get those pre-employment training that they need.
It absolutely is. And we as Tumbleweed and you as LIFTT, we have to act as their parents. They may not know what, one kid said to me, what's a resume?
Yes,
So
they don't know
what that means. They don't really even know what to put on there. I've never had a job. Well, there's other things you can put on a resume that speak to your skills. Now, what do I do with this? A lot of them are used to just filling out the McDonald's application on online, and then you just submit it. I want them to dream that they can, working at McDonald's, perfectly great.
Yeah.
But what if your dream is to be, I don't know,
A lawyer.
a lawyer?
business owner, yeah.
For example, how do you get to that space? And it takes all of us to cheer them on, to show them just the little tiny steps. This is what they ask at an interview. How scary if you don't know what someone's going to ask.
Yeah, and the whole process would seem super overwhelming because you don't know those little baby steps that would get you to that end goal. And they might just quit before they even start because they just don't know the steps to it.
And many of them do, because fear is a huge barrier. So you're helping lower that fear barrier. There's just not enough that all of us can't do to partner in some way across all of our programs, and it's super important that we do that for each other, for our community.
Yeah, I love it.
No, we did touch on, you ladies have already mentioned disabilities. We kind of talked about how prevalent they are. What amongst the at-risk youth with disabilities, what kind of things do you see them struggling with?
You know, that's a really good question. They try to hide many of their disabilities because youth are really good at hiding, that they're homeless, that they're hungry. We haven't had a whole lot of physical disabilities within our building in the last, say, 4 years, but super happy that we have nowhere to go the minute somebody needs those type of services. Did that answer your question?
It did. No, it did. I just, like I said, we had kind of mentioned that topic, and I wondered what you had seen, or if you had seen much.
Well, we have a gentleman right now that has a brain tumor. We have some with, certainly, we have some vision impaired disabilities, not just in our staff, but also among our kids. Those are really the disabilities that we see most often in our building.
Are there any kind of events that you guys hold, outreach events you guys do in the community during the year? Are there any kind of things that you guys do specifically, or?
Oh man, I wish I could say we have these big, huge, fun galas. I'm just not really good at those. We do like to go out and tell about Tumbleweed. So if any organizations out there want us to come and visit with your civic organization, your church,
I love it.
We host a lunch and learn once a month. If you want to get some friends together and just come and learn more about Tumbleweed, and you just sit down and I kind of do this spiel about Tumbleweed, give you a tour of our building. We love people to come in and just have a tour.
I would love to
If
come
you're just
see it.
driving along and you're just like, I don't have anything to do, come on over. People are always surprised at all that happens there. Our team is a team of 18, and we served over 886 non-duplicate youth across our programs last year and provided something like 80,000 services.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're busy people over
You
there.
are busy people. I love that.
And I don't think you have to have big fancy galas. It's kind of cool that you have that space for them to, did you say foosball? And
Yes.
yes, so they can just drop in anytime and kind of get to meet some youth that might be in
Absolutely,
their same
would love it.
position. Yeah, totally. That's
Now,
amazing.
STEP hosts their recovery carnival there every year, so I like to say that we're kind of part of that.
Ah, there you go.
So that's a fun time to come and get to experience Tumbleweed if you want to come when there's a lot of people.
Okay.
We do hope to have some things this spring, so stay tuned.
Okay.
I can't say what it is yet, but we hope to have something in June-ish.
Okay.
June-ish, okay.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
I love it.
So I'll let you know.
Do you share your events and stuff like that, like your lunch and learn? Do you share those on like your Facebook page or website?
You know, we really haven't shared them because so far it's just been board invited folks because we've been able to do it that way, but I'm so happy to have anybody that wants to come. We have had some like Kiwanis, Junior League, Junior Women's League. They're going to have a meeting at our place. But we've asked people to come in if you have a monthly meeting, and we'll host your monthly meeting. And then we'll tell you a little about Tumbleweed. You guys can have your meeting and see our space. You really can't get a total feel for it until you're in the space. It just feels like hope. It feels like resilience. It feels like change. It feels like we're making a difference.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love that. That is so inspiring. I love it. I know that you can't share specifics, but can you give us a broad idea of maybe some success stories, people that have served to inspire you, situations that may have, can you tell us about anything like that?
Oh my gosh, I have millions. I don't think we have enough time, but I will share you some quick ones. But we also look at success a little differently. So one person's success is very different than another person's success. So we celebrate those things. For one person, their ability to get a job might be the hugest success ever. And for someone else, them going to college, because you know that that's their capability, then we celebrate that success. So we try to look at success individualized. But I've worked with so many young people over time. We've had several graduate from college. We've had tons get there, come right into this building here where we're filming this and get their high set on a yearly basis. But probably my biggest one is a young lady that was a traffic victim. I really thought she was not going to show up one day to the center, and I would look for her and be worried about her. I mean, it just had a rough go in her life. And she lost all of her children as time went on. She since aged out, but she has all of her children back. She holds down a steady job. She has her high set. She has her own apartment. I mean, and she has done all of those things in spite of everything the world has thrown at her. So she's probably the one that touches my heart the most, but they're success stories every single day.
That is so hard, but that is so amazing that you were able to witness that.
Yes.
I love it how you meet people where they're at and congratulate all those successes all along the way. I think it's fantastic.
I say that we see people and we hear them.
I love it. I think, what time is it if the clock tells me right? We're about ready to wrap up.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I just want to say thanks for having me, and I hope people come over. I am so passionate about Tumbleweed, and it's fun to tell about Tumbleweed, and people that come usually leave our building inspired.
Aww.
I love knowing that, and I want to just go over there. I love knowing that you just love if people stop in.
Yes.
That you invite people in to see what you do. I love that. I think it's wonderful.
Well, it's the community's young people.
I love it.
Tumbleweed doesn't own them. They're all of ours.
It's true.
I love that so much. Anya, was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think that's about it. I'm just excited that we can make this connection and that our youth can be supported by several different agencies in town. So
I am excited. I love it. Thank you so much, Georgia, for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
You are absolutely welcome back anytime. Anya, thank you so much for assisting me. If you'd like to know any more information about LIFTT, you can find us at www.liftt.org. You can find us on Facebook, and you can find us in our app by going to your preferred service provider, network provider. And thank you, ladies, and we will see you next time on Living Well in Montana.